everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Introduction to Microeconomics at Ozarka College. Today what I'm going to do is give you just a little bit of feedback on the chapters 9 and 10 activities and the midterm exam, which I graded last week. All those activities were due last week, and so those have all been graded. If you haven't looked at your grades for those activities and read the corresponding grading comments, go ahead and do that as soon as you can, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. But on the assignment and the discussion and the chapter test, most of you did well on those. So like I said, look at your grades for those activities. Let me know if you have any questions. The midterm exam, most of you did well on that. If you didn't do so well on any of those activities, let me know if you're having problems or you need some help. I'll be glad to help you. But like I said, most of you did well, and so keep up the good work on that. Most of you are putting the time and effort in that's needed to do well on the activities for this class, and I really appreciate that. All right, so that brings us to what we've got coming up due next. So if we go to the activities page in my Ozarka, right now we are on week 9 of the semester. Of course, we just had our midterm exam late last week, so now we are going to be starting on the second half of the activities for this class, the second half of the chapters. All right, and you'll notice there's nothing due this week, but we do have work due next week. So you should be working on right now this week what is due next week. Okay, so you've got a little over a week basically to be working on chapters 11 and 12. So you've got, for chapters 11 and 12, you've got the assignment, the test, and the discussion, all due by Wednesday of next week, which is October 23rd. All right, so be working on those activities. By the way, chapter 11 covers resource markets, and really up until this point in the semester, we've mostly been talking about the product market, where goods and services are sold and bought. And so, and in the product market, remember, in the product market, the firms actually supply in the product market. They make the goods and services and supply those to households and other businesses in the product market, and it is the individuals or the households and some firms that buy from other firms. So they're the demanders in the product market. Okay, in the resource market, it's really the opposite. You have the firms that are actually demanders in the resource market because they need resources like labor in order to produce goods and services in the product market. Okay, and it is the households that are actually supplying the labor to firms in order to produce goods and services. Okay, so when we start thinking about resource markets, you have to kind of think about it. Who's the demander? Who's the supplier in this type of market? And again, the roles are reversed from what they are in the product market. Okay, so chapter 11 covers resource markets, resource supply and demand, derived demand, opportunity cost. All of these terms we've talked about before as far as in the product market, and they're very similar when we talk about them in the resource market, but there are some differences here. Also in chapter 11, we're going to be looking at marginal revenue product, marginal resource cost, and then at the very end of chapter 11, we're going to learn about the things that can cause changes in resource demand. Okay, so that's chapter 11. So that just kind of introduces you to the resource market. And then chapter 12 is going to go into talking about a specific type of resource market, which is the labor market. The labor market is really the most important and kind of the largest of the resource markets. And so we're going to spend a couple of chapters on specifically labor markets, and chapter 12 is the first of those. So chapter 12 covers labor markets. We're going to look at the substitution effect of a wage increase, the income effect of a wage increase, and you're going to have to be really careful when you're answering questions about the substitution effect and the income effect of a wage increase, because those terms are used in the product market, but they mean completely different things in the product market than they do in the labor market. So you're going to have to be very careful when you're researching and reading through the textbook and watching the videos. Make sure that you don't just plug in substitution effect or income effect to find information about it, because it's probably going to give you the information as it pertains to the product market, and you're going to have an incorrect answer on your assignment. So make sure that you're actually reading through the sections of the textbook that it says to on the assignment, and make sure that you're actually watching the videos that I've linked and not just plugging it into the terms into AI, because you're going to get incorrect information when you do that. Okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. In addition to the substitution effect and the income effect, you're also in chapter 12 going to learn about non-wage determinants of labor supply. You're also going to look at things that determine wage rates. We'll also briefly talk about labor unions, the different types of unions, and then how labor unions increase wages. There are really two major ways in which they can increase wages. And so we'll look at those. And so be working on chapters 11 and 12 again. Make sure that you're actually using the resources, reading and watching the resources that I've made available to you on the assignment page, and not just, plugging in information online to try to find answers to the questions, because especially with this assignment, you're going to get incorrect information if you just plug it in into Google or into AI. All right? So just be really careful with that. All right? And let me go back here. Let's see. And I also, one last thing I need to mention is I did post midterm grades late last week. I believe our final was due Thursday night, so I put in midterm grades Friday morning. So if you haven't already looked at your midterm grade, go ahead and do that as soon as possible. Let me know if you have any questions at all. It shouldn't be a surprise to you, because it's going to be whatever letter grade corresponded to your percent grade that you currently have in the class, or had at the time that I put the grades in. So, but if it is a surprise, just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have about it. And that's really all I have for you for today. So again, be working on those activities. Let me know if you have questions, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you.